Hey, what's going on everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. dbrand has finally released Project KillSwitch for the ROG Ally, and this is something I've been waiting on for a little while. We got the Project KillSwitch for the Steam Deck a while ago, really nice case, and of course, when the initial batch was released, there was a little bit of an issue with the magnet in the rear. But don't worry, with the new KillSwitch for the ROG Ally, there's no magnets included whatsoever, but we still get a pretty nifty kickstand with this unit. If you're not familiar with Project KillSwitch from dbrand, basically what we've got here is a really nice case for our handheld device. It's got a protective cover that's going to protect those analog sticks once you put this thing in the backpack, and this turned out to be one of my favorite cases for the original Steam Deck. Around back here with the new ROG Ally version, we do get a new kickstand, non-magnetic, so you don't have to worry about it stopping the fan or anything like that. Plenty of ventilation for the built-in cooling system on the Ally, and a super nice textured grip to this case itself. So it's actually a two-piece setup, and when it comes down to it, there's actually a few extras here, like these super grippy analog stick covers, and since this is coming from dbrand, who's really known for their skins, you can pick out a set of front skins for the ROG Ally. And they did send this over for review, but they're not going to be taking a look at this video or anything before it goes live. They were kind enough to send over a few choices here. I actually really couldn't decide what I wanted. And usually I don't go with super flashy colors or anything like that with my handhelds, but I think I'm going to change it up just a bit here. They sent over their new Hydro Dip skins for the ROG Ally, and one that caught my eye has my two favorite colors, blue and purple. So I think I'm going to go with this, and I can always swap it out down the road if I don't like it. But it might look pretty decent, and this will be the first time I'm doing any kind of crazy colors on any of the handhelds that I own. So first things first, I want to get these skins installed, and I'm just cleaning up the unit, getting all the dust off of it, fingerprints, any kind of grease left over, so these skins can stick on here really nicely. And dbrand does use some very high quality vinyl skins. And this one actually looks super easy to install because we've got those oddly shaped buttons on the ROG Ally. This is kind of precision, so basically all I need to do is kind of line up that speaker grill and those two extra buttons up top, and then we can lay this right down. And with these front skins for the ROG Ally, I'm personally not going to be using any hot air. Now you definitely could if you want to, but since we don't have any weird creases or anything like that, I'm pretty sure it's just going to lay right here pretty nicely as long as I've got everything lined up. And yeah, that was actually a really easy install. It is cut precision to fit this thing perfectly. Straight off the bat, not exactly sure how I'm liking this color scheme, but I'll need to get it in the case just to kind of get my final thoughts on it. With the new KillSwitch for the ROG Ally, they've actually got these attached tabs up here, which will help you easily get this on the back of the unit. It does need to get over those triggers around back. And this is just going to allow us to kind of put a little bit of pressure on it to pull it on up. And they do have a full install tutorial over on their website. I took a look at it just to make sure. I originally was going to pull these tabs right off, once I took it out of the box, but then realized they're here for a reason. So we will need to put a little pressure on this to kind of get it up over. This thing fits so nicely on the ROG Ally. Just make sure we get this other side on. And to tell you the truth, without these tabs, it would have been a pain. Still got a little bit of adjustment that I need to do up at the top, kind of get it just all situated down, but once it's done, I think it looks really good. And of course, you don't have to go with the Hydro Dip line, you can go with their X-Ray line or just a matte color, it's really up to you. They've got a ton of choices over on their website. I'm going to go ahead and install these analog stick covers, give me a little extra grip here. And once it's all said and done, it looks a little something like this. And yeah, I'm actually kind of digging that red and blue Hydro Dip. I know not everybody's going to be into this, and I might swap it out down the road. But having something with a little bit of color is just kind of a big change when it comes to these handheld gaming PCs. Kind of digging it right now, but who knows, in a few hours I might want to swap this thing out. Everything's accessible here, the XG port, SD card slot, if it's still working on your ROG Ally. USB Type-C, 3.5mm audio jack, volume buttons, our power/fingerprint sensor can still be used here. And around back, really clean design. Now one thing I was a little worried about was it blocking off airflow. As you can see here, it does kind of cover up those vents. I mean, it is well ventilated itself, but I'm going to do a little bit of thermal testing in just a second, right after we take a look at that front case going on. Super easy, just kind of snaps right on. Now you can throw this in your backpack, And with it set up like this, I'm not too worried about dropping it. I wouldn't drop it 30 feet, but falling off the desk or something like that, I really wouldn't worry about it getting messed up at all. I personally don't want to scratch up the case itself, but it's here to protect the device inside. And not a super hard slam. But yeah, everything's still going to work here. Those analog stick protectors on this case are really nice. And just putting it in your bag, you don't have to worry about it at all. To run this thermal test, what I'm going to be doing here is using the built-in benchmark for Cyberpunk 2077. I've got Afterburner on screen and I've got hardware info running in the background. That way it'll tell me the maximum temperature. I can reset that once this benchmark is done and we reinstall the case. Without the case, we had an average of 70.44 FPS and a maximum temperature of 69 degrees Celsius. Now I'm testing with the KillSwitch case installed, and there will be some discrepancies between the FPS. This case isn't going to make the ROG Ally faster, but it just so happens that with this benchmark here and the KillSwitch case installed using the same settings, we now have an average of 72 FPS. And if I ran this a few more times, with and without the case, we could definitely equal out, get the same kind of performance there. But the main thing is, we actually had the same exact temperature, only going up to 69 degrees Celsius. I didn't notice the fan noise or anything like that getting any louder with the KillSwitch installed, but I'm sure that fan does need to spin up just a bit more to keep those same temperatures. If I was to set a basic fan curve here with manual mode, we might be able to really see what's going on. But overall, even with this installed, we've still got enough airflow to keep this thing nice and cool. Overall, pretty easy install. Make sure you leave those tabs on. It just makes it really easy to kind of pull those up over the rear triggers and the shoulder buttons. You don't have to put a lot of force on it. It will come on over. It fits perfectly. I didn't have any issues with any of the ports or any of the volume buttons or anything like that. I like the look of it. You can definitely swap it out with some different skins if you wanted to. And when you order this, you can pick from one skin. You can always add more to the cart if you want to. Obviously, it's going to cost you more money. But if you're looking for a really good case for the ROG Ally, this is something that I could recommend. And if you do end up ordering this, just keep in mind the Essentials kit is going to come with the KillSwitch case, kickstand, and a skin. The travel kit is the one that comes with that travel cover and the stick grips. You could also add a tempered glass screen protector if you want to. But from here, you can choose which skin you want. Got a little drop down here. Go for the teardown, Ultimate teardown, X-ray light, or the X-ray dark. I think a lot of these look really good. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. And like always, thanks for watching.